10 Signs That Show You Are a Classy Lady, Part 2. So many women chase trends, overspend on fashion, or push themselves harder at work just to feel acknowledged. Yet, that rarely translates into true sophistication. Real class doesn't shout. It shows up in the small, quiet ways you move through life. In this video, I'll share signs of timeless elegance, and at the end, one rare trait most women never recognize as their own. Sign 1. You resist the urge to overshare. Mystery becomes your natural shield. Think about how conversations flow these days, at lunch with colleagues, in group chats, or even on social media. Many times, people reveal more than they intend: private struggles, relationship drama, or personal finances. Oversharing often comes from an unconscious need for validation, as if spilling every detail will win understanding. But instead, it can blur boundaries and leave you feeling exposed or even misunderstood. Classy women understand the difference between privacy and secrecy. Privacy is choosing what parts of your life deserve protection. Secrecy, on the other hand, hides out of fear. When you keep certain details to yourself, not out of shame, but out of self-respect, you create a natural balance. People sense they can trust you because you're not rushing to disclose everything. Picture a workplace lunch. One colleague unloads about family conflicts, leaving the table silent and uncomfortable. Another shares just enough to join the conversation, her weekend hike, a new book she's reading, yet keeps her deeper struggles private. Who do you think leaves the stronger impression? The truth is, people lean in when everything isn't laid out. Mystery isn't distance, it's dignity. It makes your presence linger long after the conversation ends. Sign 2. You adjust your energy to the room without losing your authenticity. There's an art to moving through different spaces while still feeling like yourself. A classy woman knows how to tune into the energy around her, almost like adjusting the volume on a radio. Never too loud, never too soft, but always clear. This isn't about pretending or mimicking others. It's about respecting the atmosphere while carrying your true essence with ease. Think of the difference. Some people copy the group just to fit in, laughing louder than usual or adopting opinions they don't truly hold. That kind of performance eventually feels hollow. Contrast that with a woman who remains centered in who she is, yet knows how to flow with others. At a lively gathering, she amplifies her energy, sharing stories, laughing generously, without trying to dominate the space. At a quiet dinner, she softens her tone, listens deeply, and adds warmth that elevates the intimacy of the moment. This balance creates trust. People sense they're meeting the real you, not a version borrowed from someone else. And that adaptability, rooted in authenticity, makes others feel comfortable, respected, and naturally drawn to your presence. Sign 3. You make delayed gratification look effortless. Delayed gratification is the quiet strength of waiting for what truly matters instead of grasping for the quick thrill. It's saying no to the impulse of buying something flashy today because you have your eyes on a bigger, lasting goal tomorrow. It's choosing intention over urgency, patience over pressure. Many people rush into decisions, splurging on unnecessary purchases, leaping into relationships, or quitting a job too soon, only to regret it later. A woman with class moves differently. She knows her worth isn't measured by how fast she gets something, but by how well it aligns with her vision. Think of saving for financial security instead of living paycheck to paycheck, or dedicating years to building a career with depth rather than chasing quick recognition. Even in health, the discipline of consistent workouts and mindful eating eventually reveals results that a crash diet never could. This kind of patience signals maturity. It shows you're not easily swayed by trends or temptations. And when you practice delayed gratification, people sense your quiet confidence, that you trust the long game. That assurance becomes magnetic because it's rare, and it speaks louder than instant wins ever could. Sign 4. You avoid performative laughter, keeping your humor sincere. Laughter carries energy, and people can sense when it's genuine or forced. Fake laughter might seem harmless, but over time it feels disingenuous and even draining. In social or professional settings, performing amusement to please others can blur your authenticity and create subtle discomfort, both for you and for those around you. Think of how refreshing it feels when someone laughs only because they truly find something funny. That kind of reaction lights up the room, It's honest, contagious, and memorable. Compare that to the polite, almost mechanical chuckles often heard in meetings or group conversations. They may keep things smooth on the surface, but they rarely leave a lasting impression. Take, for instance, a workplace scenario where a colleague delivers a forced joke. The group responds with polite giggles, yet the classy woman simply offers a warm smile, acknowledging the effort without pretending. That small choice preserves her integrity while still being gracious. By keeping your humor sincere, you show that your reactions can be trusted. People begin to rely on your presence because they know you won't perform for approval. It's a quiet kind of strength, rooted in authenticity, that deepens respect wherever you go. Sign 5. You move with economy, never a wasted gesture or word. There's a quiet authority in someone who doesn't rush, doesn't over-explain, and doesn't fill silence with clutter. Stillness and deliberate movement often carry more weight than layers of noise. When your words are chosen with care and your gestures match your intention, people feel the strength of your presence without you needing to push it. Contrast this with the opposite, rambling stories that lose their thread, hands waving dramatically without purpose, or drama added just to keep attention. Instead of drawing people in, that excess often leaves them distracted or even exhausted. Think of a woman giving a presentation. She doesn't pace nervously or clutter her points. Instead, she stands grounded, gestures only when it supports her words, and pauses at the right moment. Even in a casual conversation, she doesn't rush to fill gaps. Her tone and movements are calm, measured, and intentional. This discipline signals deep confidence. It tells others you're not competing for space. You already own your space. Moving with economy sharpens your presence and creates an energy of composure. And in a world overflowing with noise, your calm precision speaks volumes. Sign 6. You treat waiting as an art, never fidgeting under time pressure. Waiting exposes character. Most people treat it as a burden, tapping feet, scrolling endlessly on their phones, sighing loudly, or glancing at the clock every few seconds. That kind of restlessness communicates impatience, as if time itself is their enemy. A classy woman approaches waiting differently. She treats it as an extension of her grace. Instead of fighting the pause, she settles into it. Her calm presence suggests she's in control of herself, even if circumstances are outside her control. This isn't passive. It's a quiet discipline that tells the world she cannot be rushed. Think of airports, long grocery lines, or sitting in traffic. While others unravel with frustration, she maintains composure. She might use the time to think, read, or simply breathe deeply. That choice not only protects her peace, but also communicates a strength that others feel immediately. Waiting gracefully builds resilience. It shows that your energy isn't dictated by delays or inconveniences. And more importantly, it signals a quiet power, that you trust your pace, your timing, and your ability to handle life without flinching under pressure. Sign 7. You own mistakes without self-punishment or public theatrics. Mistakes happen to everyone. The difference lies in how you handle them. Accountability means acknowledging the error, correcting it, and moving forward. Self-shaming, on the other hand, turns the moment into a spectacle, over-apologizing, dramatizing, or fishing for sympathy. That doesn't repair the mistake, it only magnifies it. Many women, especially in professional spaces, fall into the habit of apologizing repeatedly for small errors. While it may come from humility, it often undermines confidence. A classy woman knows the balance. She addresses her misstep clearly, takes action to correct it, and doesn't linger in guilt. Consider a workplace scenario. A project deadline is missed. One person launches into long justifications, apologizing excessively, drawing attention to the mistake more than necessary. Another simply says, "This was my oversight. I've adjusted the timeline and ensured it won't repeat." Then she continues with focus. Which response inspires greater trust? Owning mistakes with composure shows strength. It signals that you're human, but also resilient enough not to crumble under imperfection. And in doing so, you model a rare kind of leadership, responsibility without drama, humility without self-punishment. That's what earns lasting respect. Sign 8. You never compete for attention. Presence speaks louder than volume. Attention-seeking often dilutes dignity. Loud entrances, exaggerated stories, or constant attempts to redirect the spotlight may win a few moments of notice, but they rarely earn lasting respect. The energy feels forced, as if approval must be chased rather than naturally received. A classy woman understands that true influence doesn't need a performance. Her presence, rooted in calm confidence, speaks louder than volume ever could. She doesn't rush to outshine others or prove her worth. Instead, she allows her authenticity, warmth, and poise to quietly command the space around her. Think of a social event. One person raises their voice above everyone else, constantly steering conversations back to themselves. Another, sitting with ease, engages thoughtfully, listens with interest, and adds value with just a few words. Without fanfare, people find themselves drawn to her. That's the quiet magnetism of genuine presence. When you stop competing for attention, you begin to embody influence that feels steady and trustworthy. People don't just notice you, they respect you. And that kind of respect endures long after the noise of attention-seeking fades away. True presence doesn't chase, it attracts. Sign 9. You can admire beauty in others without it diminishing your own. Envy has a way of creeping in quietly. Another woman's beauty, career success, or even her relationship can trigger comparisons that leave you questioning yourself. That tension often leads to subtle competition or withholding compliments out of insecurity. A classy woman chooses differently. She understands that admiration is not subtraction. Someone else shining does not dim her light. Instead of feeling threatened, she uplifts others with sincerity. Complimenting a colleague's style, acknowledging a friend's achievement, or celebrating another woman's confidence only adds to her own sense of security. Picture this. A colleague walks in with a striking outfit. Many might feel an urge to compare or silently critique. The woman rooted in her own self-worth simply smiles and says, "That looks beautiful on you." No jealousy, no pretense, just genuine appreciation. And because she's secure in her own presence, the compliment carries weight. This ability strengthens confidence. It tells the world you know your value, regardless of who else is in the room. It also builds healthy relationships, free of hidden competition. When you radiate abundance instead of scarcity, people feel at ease around you, and that grace becomes unforgettable. Sign 10. You know how to leave a space, conversations, events, or rooms gracefully. Exits matter as much as entrances. Many people rush their goodbyes, slip out without acknowledgement, or linger past the natural close of a moment. Each of these leaves behind a trace of awkwardness. A classy woman understands that how you leave a space is a reflection of presence. It's part of the story people carry about you. Graceful exits are intentional. They're never rushed, yet never dragged out. They don't come with unnecessary apologies, like, "I'm sorry, I have to go," which suggests guilt in doing something natural. Instead, they're marked by warmth and clarity. Think of a dinner party. One guest checks their phone, stands abruptly, and hurries off. Another, when it's time, offers kind words to the host, thanks those nearby for the evening, and departs with calm assurance. It's the second woman who will be remembered fondly because her exit felt complete and thoughtful. Leaving gracefully communicates confidence and respect. It tells others you value the moment shared, but also honor your own time. And in that balance, you create a lasting impression. People don't recall the awkwardness of your departure, only the elegance you carried with you. Bonus trait, the ability to be at peace with solitude without calling it loneliness. Many women resist solitude because silence feels uncomfortable, almost like absence. Yet for the woman rooted in class, solitude is not a void, it's a sanctuary. She thrives in her own company, whether she's reading a book, journaling, resting, or simply reflecting. This time alone becomes nourishment, not punishment. The gift of enjoying solitude is deep self-possession. It strengthens your presence in the world because you no longer seek constant validation, and that quiet strength lingers wherever you go. Thank you for staying with me until the very end. By watching fully, you've shown that you are part of this growing community of women choosing depth and elegance every day. If this message resonated with you, write the phrase, "Grace leaves an echo," in the comments. It's our way of knowing you stayed through to the end. If you found value in today's video, please give it a like. It truly supports the growth of this channel and helps more women like you discover this community. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's insight, and share this video with someone you know who treasures elegance and personal growth. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Another video is waiting for you on screen, and I promise I'll see you tomorrow.